And the caller, John Russell.
Right, thank you, Hilton. Last to go up here is Bellisnap. There's a very good crowd in attendance here today, which certainly must please the club officials. As good a crowd as I've seen at a Sandown Cup for quite some time. Now the field is set for the Sandown Stakes, 1400 metres. They'll soon go. Cogitate on the outside, winner of the Show Day Cup. They're off. And Cogitate was the first to bound out in company there with Defoe, and also away quickly as Zapari. And Street Ruffian towards the inside began speedily, being followed by High Solid and Bellisnap behind them. Monsieur on the rails, Gitana. Then Ben's Rocket, followed by Jolly Almac, and Not Related dropped out to last. 1100 metres to run. Street Ruffian on the inside has gone to the front by a half length in advance of Defoe. A length to High Solid. Half a length away on the inside to Bellisnap, being followed by Zapari. Monsieur on the rails, then Gitana. Next going up on the outside, just in behind them, Cogitate, being followed by Ben's Rocket and Jolly Almac, and 3 lengths to Not Related at the back of the field. 800 metres left to go. Down the hill they travel. Street Ruffian doing it well. Leads by a length to Flow in close touch. A length and a half further back as Bellisnap over on the inside. And they were being followed closely by High Solid. Just behind them, Zapari, Monsieur. Around the outside, Cogitate, followed by Gitana looking for a run. Jolly Almac, Ben's Rocket, and still last of all is Not Related. She'd be 10 lengths off the lead as they straighten up. 450 metres out, and Street Ruffian being tackled by Defoe. They're out by 2 lengths to Bellisnap, followed by High Solid. Zapari down the outside, Monsieur in the clear. Gitana is struggling. Cogitate, Jolly Almac, Not Related still last as they come to the 250. Defoe on the outside has taken the lead and is clear now. Battling on well as Street Ruffian, and here comes Monsieur's the danger. Monsieur grabbing them quickly, hit the front, and it's all over. Monsieur race clear to win it well from Defoe. Street Ruffian there in a photo with Not Related and Jolly Almac for third, and just in behind them Gitana, followed by Zapari, then Cogitate, High Solid, followed next home. Further back there by Ben's Rocket, and last to finish is Bellisnap.
Well, it's just as well the ball didn't leave. It's just as well it didn't leave Danny Morrison's hand. I believe there is at least a single there.
No.
A $4.80 and $1.90. Defoe running second, good dividend, $6.20, and Street Ruffian, what a marvel. This old horse is running third, paying $3.60 in the Sandown Stakes.
Sydney race. It's the 2WS Handicap, and your caller is Johnny Tapp.
To Rose Hill now for race 6 coming up live. It's the 2WS Handicap, a race for 3-year-olds and upwards who haven't won more than 2 races in the metropolitan area. And actually they're going to run a touch late because they're all behind the gates and there's no sign of them moving in as yet. By the same token, most of them are experienced horses as far as the barrier stalls are concerned, and there shouldn't be any problem. Irish Rort has been a touch disappointing of late. He looked to be very well placed in a race here a fortnight ago, but was a battling second to Takishi. Although I noticed that once again punters are pinning their faith in Irish Rort, and he again is a clear-cut favourite at odds of 6-4 on the win tote. Flags in the air and the runners are now being called into line. Enough Time is at 11-1 and Super Reserve is a 10-1 chance. 5-2 number 4 Greater, trained on the track by Jack Denham. Irish Rort is now moving up into line. Malvern King, who's been racing out of town, ran second at Kembla at his most recent start, is at odds of 6-1. Big Risk is at 14, 10-1 for Pagan Kirk. Lenola, a 50-1 pop, 60 for Travelling Gold, and 100-1 for Saint Amadi. Saint Amadi, ridden by lady jockey Leanne Olsen, who rides a lot of track work at Warwick Farm and is being rewarded currently for her efforts. Trainer Brian Smith is one trainer who does give her quite a number of opportunities. Now the flag fluttering in the breeze, that should be lowered at any tick of the clock, and the line looks just about intact for a start in the 2WS Handicap, and we'll have them on their way shortly. Flags down and they're off and running, and here they come racing into view. Lenola and Greater are the joint leaders in the early stages over Malvern King going up on the outside, followed by Irish Rort getting into a handy spot. Enough Time will settle down 5th on the fence, followed by Super Reserve and then Big Risk and Pagan Kirk. Travelling Gold is second last, and Saint Amadi went back to the tail of the field. Greater is in front at the 1600 mark, about to swing to the back, and led nicely over Malvern King, who's pulling very hard in second place. Running third on the fence, Lenola. Lanola, with Irish Rort now fourth on the outside from Enough Time and Big Risk, and then Super Reserve, followed by Pagan Kirk. Travelling Gold to second last, and a half length away last on the outside, Saint Amadi. To the back, 1300 out and greater is the leader, slowing them up now by a length to Malvern King. A length away Lanola, and 3/4 to Big Risk, who's making a move 3 deep on the outside of Irish Rort, with Irish Rort starting to pull a bit now as the pace slows. Enough Time as midfield on the fence, followed by Super Reserve, and then Pagan Kirk, Saint Amadi, and still Travelling Gold on the fence as last as they go to the 1,000 mark. They've quickened a bit, and greater about 3/4 to Malvern King, taking closer order. Big Risk is travelling 3 deep in third place on the outside of Irish Rort and Lanola. A bit more than a length to Enough Time, joined by Super Reserve, followed by Pagan Kirk, Saint Amadi and Travelling Gold. They're bunching up as they come down the side of the 700 mark, and greater just led Malvern King. Big Risk in third place under some pressure, followed by Lanola with Irish Rort between horses, and then Enough Time, Super Reserve, followed by Saint Amadi, Pagan Kirk, and last is Travelling Gold on the corner. Into the straight, greater and Malvern King are battling it out. There's nothing between them. Malvern King takes the lead immediately after straightening up. Irish Rort in third place under heavy pressure, followed by Lanola. Enough Time is starting to come between horses, and wider out Super Reserve. At the 200, Malvern King, the leader, about to be tackled by Irish Rort, who won't go straight. He's hanging in. Enough Time trying to get between them, and Super Reserve joining in on the outside. Irish Rort put his head in front. Enough Time lunges. Enough Time did best, and Enough Time beat Irish Rort. Super Reserve has run third. Malvern King is fourth, followed by Pagan Kirk, and then greater, Saint Amadi, Big Risk, and the last couple of Travelling Gold and Lanola.
Welcome back to the WACO. It's 8 for 363 now. Craig McDermott.
New South Wales dividends $9.20 and $2.80 for number 2, Enough Time. And one feels that Ian Healy's got enough time here to make his second Test 100. Giving good support from the tail. Vic Health Sandown Cup over 2,400 metres. John Russell is your caller.
Three Sandown Cup will shortly be underway as Fans completes the line, and they're all set for a start. 2,400 metres, waiting for the light. There it is. Set. They're off. And a great start it was too, and Skyflyer one of the first to jump out with Eager Prince, who began with Chasendo, and over on the outside Air Seattle is prominent, being followed by Top Rating, and back behind them London Bridge, and down the outside Tayako Nick and Tall Lord looking for the fence and getting it now, and he was followed by Fans a bit further back, then dropping out to last in the event. Next to last is Bar High, and even pace racing down the straight the first timer. Skyflyer is one of the leaders here with Eager Prince, and close behind them London Bridge, and 4 deep going up towards the front now is Tayako Nick as they come down past the judges box, and Tayako Nick, the runner-up in the Melbourne Cup, has dashed to the front, and going out of the straight, he leads the way by a length and a half. Skyflyer on the inside of Eager Prince, and out 3 wide to London Bridge. A length and a half Chasendo on the inside of Air Seattle. They're followed closely by Top Rating. A length and a half then to Tall Lord. A bit further back, Bon Preserve, followed by Fans 2 lengths away. Bar High second last, and in the event is trailing the field. Into the back, just over 1,500 a run. Tayako Nick over a length. Eager Prince on the outside of Skyflyer third. Close up behind them, London Bridge. They were followed closely by Chasendo on the inside of Air Seattle between horses. 2 lengths away, Top Rating. A length back along the inside, Bon Preserve, followed by Tall Order. Fans is third last, followed by Bar High, and last of all still is in the event. Up past the 1,200 metres. Tayako Nick doing it well by a length. Eager Prince is second. Half a length to Skyflyer. Fourth is London Bridge, followed by Air Seattle, and just behind them on the rails, Chasendo. Top Rating a bit further back, Bon Preserve, followed by Tall Lord. Fans, and just behind them Bar High in the event as they come down the hill. 900 metres out, Tayako Nick is still the leader, and his advantage was about a length over Eager Prince on the outside of Skyflyer, who's had a beautiful run third. He's followed by London Bridge, Air Seattle the outside, Chasendo 2 lengths to Top Rating. They're being followed closely then over on the inside by Bon Preserve. Urged forward now is Tall Lord, and back behind them is Bar High. Fans is now starting to get a move on, and so is in the event as they come up to the 500. Tayako Nick has slipped away a couple of lengths to Skyflyer. Top Rating around the outside, London Bridge, then Eager Prince and Tall Orders making ground, and so is fans as they straighten up. 400 metres left to go, and Teoko Nick by 2 lengths to Top Rating, and Tall Lord down the outside looks to be cruising, and finishing on as Bon Preserve as they come to the 300. Tall Lord has hit the front now. Bon Preserve finishing on well, but Tall Lord was the leader. He's kicked clear. Bon Preserve down the outside. Top Rating Chasendo, but Tall Lord is going strongly, and he's got the cup one. Tall Lord, he's too good. Tall Lord wins it by a length. Bon Preserve 2.5 lengths away. Third Top Rating, then Fans, and they were followed by Chasendo, Air Seattle, and Teoko Nick, and back behind them Skyflyer from Bar High. Second last is London Bridge, and last of all in the event.
Welcome back. Unofficial winner number 3, Tall Lord, ridden by Stephen King. Sandown Cup in Melbourne. Ian Hilly moves to 100 for number 3, paid $3 and $1.50. That's Victorian dividends. Stephen King having a wonderful carnival. Fine jockey. Race 7, the Sandown Cup. Coming live on Wide World of Sports.
Yes, it's certainly a test of character for the New Zealanders out there. We've shown that certainly the Australians have.
Meters, and here's Johnny Tapp.
One horse to move in, and they'll be away and running in race 7, the Parramatta Riverside Theatres handicap, and that horse is Cheval de Rouge. Cheval de Rouge goes up into line. This is the biggest field of the day. Starter Billy Dale coming over, all set. Starter to his stand, and they're ready to break with the biggest field of the day so far. The inside stall occupied by Irish Landy. Off and running, a little slow Sea Mission. Irish Landy didn't jump all that well, and Cafe Rouge bounced out in front of Monsieur Plume. Delta Dragon from a wide gate has fired out and is looking for the lead. Wandalga Prince and Sakulu are showing good early pace, and then Jim's Bet, followed by Prince Zoffany, and right behind those Chew Over, who's caught out very deep from Irish Landy, and then Sea Rhythm, Runaway Ron, Sea Mission, and then Cheval de Rouge, and Chester's Fort went back to be last. The leader as they race down the side, Delta Dragon by 2 to Wandalga Prince, 2.5 to Sakulu, getting the third on the outside of Monsieur Plume. Chew Over can't get on the track, and then Jim's Bet, followed by Sea Rhythm. Further back, Cafe Rouge, Prince Zoffany under pressure from Runaway Ron, Irish Landy, and then Sea Mission, Cheval de Rouge, and last Chester's Fort. On the corner, Delta Dragon the leader, over Wandalga Prince. Sakulu's in third place, and then Monsieur Plume, followed by Chew Over and Sea Rhythm down the outside, running a bit of a race. Coming to the 200, Sea Rhythm on the extreme outside, reached the lead from Chew Over. Sakulu battling on. Sea Rhythm is in front. Chew Over kicking again with Sakulu. Sea Rhythm's about a half length in front of Chew Over and Sakulu, and Sea Rhythm. This is a very tidy effort, never on the track, but won well. Sea Rhythm over Chew Over. Sakulu third in front of Runaway Ron, Jim's Bet, followed by Sea Mission, Cheval de Rouge, Prince Zoffany, Monsieur Plume. Further back, Cafe Rouge, Wandalga Prince, Irish Landy, followed by Chester's Fort, and the early leader Delta Dragon has run last.
Sea Rhythm, the winner at Rose Hill. Australia have been dismissed here at the WACA.